call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. Let's go.
Welcome back to Perspective with Idu, where we dive deep into the lives and experiences of remarkable individuals who have made a significant impact on the world. Today we have the privilege of welcoming a true icon, darling, in the world of music and culture. Our guest today is none other than the incredible and talented and accomplished Tshedi Mholo. She first captured our hearts as a founding member of the legendary South African music group Malaika. Their soulful and uplifting music has transcended borders, darling, earning them fans around the globe. Tshedi Mholo's powerful vocals and magnetic stage presence have left an indelible mark on the music industry. From chart-topping hits to mesmerizing live performances, she's been at the forefront of South African music for decades. Beyond her musical talents, Tshedi has also become an advocate for social change and cultural preservation, using her platform to inspire positive change and promote unity through music. It's such an honor for us to have her here with us. So without further ado, let's jump into this insightful and inspiring conversation with the one and only Tshedi Mholo.
Oh, wow. What a beautiful rendition of me. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tshedi. This is such a blessing for us to have you here with us so that we can have conversations that matter.
True it.
Tshedi, Nakokai, they call me Tsholo. And now whoever calls me Tsholo fella, I know that they know me from home, right? What do they call you at home?
I'm Pizza Tshidak.
Tshidak?
Or Tito. Or Tshedi. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Tell us about the time when you're growing up. How was that like with your mom, with your dad, with your siblings?
Where do I start? It's a whole lot. I grew up more familiar, mama and papa, together married and staying in a two-roomed house in the township called Northwest in Lichtenburg. I've got two younger brothers and elder sister. Life was just average with. No so called, but you know, in the olden days, our parents never zama go pata botlhaswa.
Yeah.
My mother was still a teacher then, but life was fun. We were kids. We used to hang around the hood. You know, I would put kids in the yard and then we start practicing, start singing around the streets. But more than anything, there was more love, more respect in our communities, in our societies. We had people that, you know, we could relate with, that we made families with, even though they were not biological. But it was awesome. We used to play, you know, indigenous games. Tshedi Olang. Most of the time, Tshedi Olang, lo lumang, lo bitang, lo ngapang. So you will guess which one is me. So every time I have the games and Timmy Gamo loser, I'll start crying, and then they would say, no, she must go back to this other, you know, the winning team. Yeah. So it was fun. I mean, my street in jail on its own, it was just family. Like you know, I grew up next to a ZCC church, you know, and, you know, listening to the music used to inspire us a lot. We would hear, you know, preachers start preaching, but every Sundays when we come back from church, We would just look at them, parade in the street. My brothers would take their bicycles to the main hall, which is where they were holding the ceremony, the Sunday ceremony, our church ceremony. So, but there was more love and unity, respect. My father was very strict, by the way. So, yeah, very, very strict.
How was it growing up with that strict?
Oh, it was tough because sometimes you ubatoba innocent. Sometimes ubatoba stoned. Marwitz or the repercussions. So there was a dam not far from where we used to stay, and we would just do the thing and then go and swim. When we finish, read Tshedi Vaseline and then no, was a little white. So when you get home, and our parents never said to me, so the first question you could need to ask, before you could even start explaining yourself, impam. No, it's not to your desires or banara poster, mapunisa at no. And Papa Kanale well respected, especially around the hood and the township, because but in a way it's only Tshedi Mholo obukhali. La fika akena ka strat. If neridlala matino or something, we would all clear. Because the first thing was, where are your books?
Yeah.
Away. And but he loved music, especially choral music. So I think that's what groomed some of us. As much as Niritz Ayakari, ware sutla or ware beta, but I'm here, and I'm what I am because of the discipline that he instilled in me and my other siblings. But Baba Ngwene basa understand my especially my younger brother. Sometimes one fellow was on thing because so, but my father he's late, by the way, so he was an amazing singer, brilliant singer. Yeah.
And I love that you talk about your dad, because according to you, he's sort of like the love of your life, right?
Yeah.
How did you navigate it from a straight father to he's actually the love of my life? I love this man. And whatever it was that he did it
out of love.
Yes. But when and how did you get to that conclusion?
It's so sad, Hori. Some of the things we only get to notice them when someone has passed on. And that's when you realize, name. And I've been bonding with this person in my own different way. Because we used to argue about how choirs are supposed to sing on the radio. And he would treat some of them, hey, these ones are about Pelimunate. We used to fight and argue, but with respect, obviously. And missing that while he was no longer in the midst, I think it got me into a very serious depression after the loss, because I was not aware that Bondi Akalemi was through me and him always arguing. Sometimes when Papa, how can I say, why not and I saw maybe ni anger fela, but I know I would never do that. But yeah, it was quite tragic, and the manner in which they passed on, not as I expected. While I thought, or maybe he's going to be part of, upbringing Yabana, especially with I was pregnant then and he didn't know. Sure. And he got really sick, passed on cancer within a very short period of time. And now recollection, we used to see him taking, so many tablets and, men and hiding things. And so I still have so many unanswered questions. So sometimes even when I'm fighting with my mother, we are arguing, not really physically. Guys, I'm not fighting physically. I would just go to the graveyard and start crying and talk to him, or please, I just need peace, 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 peace. I know some of the things no side tolerate, and we need you come through in your own form, and we still remember you. So, yeah.
What is the one conversation that you wish you had before he had passed on?
I think if I was still permitted, because remember some of the topics we couldn't talk when Tate Barona le Mama Barona was to ask him about how did you and my mom get to meet and kiss, and what do you want me to learn from your relationship, because things have been
Dear my girl.
one time of again. What kind of will my casa, man? You know?
Yeah.
So my father couldn't that boundary where you knew for certain things you can't ask. I mean, I think the other thing that I missed was he was so strict to a point where I don't remember sitting on my father's lap. That's how strict this man was. But he had so much love and admiration for his family. So honestly, nkabe ke mmutsitse nje papa re mara ha o le motho wa ngwanyana o sheliwa o kgwetsagalang, because boys would come to my mother's house and then my father would be there and asking them, ngwana ko ga mang o tlo batla matshidiso ra go ke mang e kae bad. Why bon? He wanted to know you so that at least tomorrow if ilore o kopana le wena mo strateng a ba itse gore o mang o tswa kae. I mean, that's how people used to live in the olden days, So, and papa na le school ne le monna wa sithati, so sometimes re thulana le bone batho ba mare tshwantse re ba korope pele a fetsa go ba koropa go diragala
Waiwa. How when?
like rala magarine rapa ka yone pala mabonet
No, so. Right?
yeah.
So what's it? With me, it affected me very badly.
Yeah.
Not being able to sit on my dad's lap. Not being able to get that hug from my dad. And like you're saying, Kori, eventually when you get to a place where now you are meeting, banna, it becomes such a tough thing. You can't even
relate. Yes.
and say, oh, no, this is the type of man I'm looking for. This is the type of this. Because learn yourself, you also don't know it. My dad was more financial. But he was never that type of man who would like hold hug like
words of affirmation, sense of touch.
You know what I'm saying? How did you navigate that? And how was it for you growing up with that void of, but I actually want a man's touch,
I think, how do I put it? It was a bit of a challenge, eh? And how that's when you realize, my love language is 1, 2, 3. And this is not what I used to get at home. Temperature, man. I saw we need to marry. So I think meeting different people who were trying their luck on different occasions allowed me to learn so much about myself, especially with certain things that my father never did.
Sure.
But I would never allow any man. The first thing that I address is if you lay your hand on me, it's not going to work. Or not a shapilo ko gae, papa na re shapa, so I'm not going to allow any other man, because I knew my father was very overprotective of us. And I think the only time I witnessed my father kissing my dad was when my mom was having a birthday, and I'm like, you know, when you are in the kitchen and you're passing and you're like, how? Cake, like cat, you know? So I think but they were too, they were restricted on so many things. Sometimes alone batla go botsa gore marung ana o tswa ko kae yo o kreya mpamas there and there. So it was not that difficult, because I used to have boyfriends as friends, not too many boys as friends. And I would know, remember, this guy hakinale in my head, the butterfly or whatever. Chaka. And I used to have so many guys admiring me, because, you know, I was this girl who used to sing over assembly. And mama, they would just carry my books, because I was always in the center of entertainment. I go did gymnastics ke a tsena. I go tekere ke feng e batla motho go kae aba presenter ke a kena. And I would claim or no ke mo Catholic when I know I'm in AMA. I win the competition. So I think for me to navigate through that was through, you know, certain friends that I had where I could notice, or, oh, okay, I think this works for me. Wabon. If somebody, I'm Lori, I think I like you, you are smart, you are nice, you're intelligent, whatever. I love your legs or whatever. Yo, keep blush. And I felt like, oh, okay, I think he's talking to my emotions, to my feelings, because the reaction that I'm showing externally clearly shows something is happening inside. But very stuck. And I was so very stuck. The wrong ones.
The ones that your dad wants you to.
First 2 weeks were too nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Never seen this. That week.
Yeah.
Angena.
What is it that
way? Like, what you want to pants on? And you're like, what happened? You're not giving me the vibe that I'm used to.
Yeah.
So I think that's when the relationship started to be a problem. And you're like, I know. I think we are not getting along. When is my birthday?
Sure.
About kunja evening, and you're like, oh, red flag.
Yeah.
I know, red flag. You can't even keep notes.
What?
Memory.
Sure.
Special occasions.
Yeah.
I know, you are not for me. Yeah.
Do you think that you became that strict in terms of relationships because now that you grew up with your dad, you knew exactly what you were liking, and that is what you wanted from your partner? And now when you don't receive it, it's sort of like a trigger. What I meant, like you're reminding me of,
yeah.
ne?
I had too many triggers. And it's anything what you want to let me just give it a chance.
Yes.
I mean, I could see this already. It's not going to end anyway.
Yeah.
I was just trying to loosen up and be me and receive what I never received. So it was a bit of a, maybe because I'm a Libra, trying to be calculative and be balance, you know, in a sense of the more I explore it, the more I get to know about myself. So Babangwe, they would take things very personally, and sometimes so utlogela mutwane in the midst of not knowing what he did. And you're like, no, I think, can I choose me? Can I choose my happiness? I don't think you are what I'm looking for. So, yeah.
Go thata man.
I ebile rona ba re tlhagela mo di-TV le what I know. You don't know who's there for what. Because tomorrow, o tsamaya le motho ko eventeng. Okay, o robala hotela mahala. O nwa di-wine tsa mahala. Kopana le di-celebrities, o tsaya dinepe, o etsa wena. Ha o sa thole di-gig, yo, moodi wa change. Ha o setse o rwa botsa, ne ke re kopane, o ko kae? O sa ba mpotsa. Sure. Don't you dare. Ba bangwe ba rata fame nje lore I'm with who wa bona, and it takes a lot of deep, how do I put it, deep introspection for you to notice some of the red flags and some of the things, so it's over, they can tantalize you. And ukadi block out sanzano kole elu. Like I always tell someone, I'm sorry, I'm gonna offend some of the guys. Too much. You know, I've done this. You don't get kids. I didn't ask you. Why are you telling me? Do you think I'll fall into the trap? Please come on, relax. Why? Why? Did I tell you what I've achieved in that? I haven't. Relax. Or maybe, you know, or bo smakale. Bontwaki. Bayring fella or no. Talk about yourself. That is why you say this mirror, but sometimes look yourself in the mirror.
But that's a self-esteem thing.
Yes.
Where a man doesn't have any self-esteem and they have found their worth in what they have achieved.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then now,
and what they can provide as well.
Without those things, you feel like you are not a man.
It's difficult because most of our men or our young boys, they suffer in silence because they feel neglected, as if some people are not listening to them. Their partners are putting pressure on them. There's family. Everybody's expecting so many things from them because they were built. We were made to believe we're a man as a built person. He's a protector, he's a provider, he's a what. And Baba wish him, I want to feel all right, no. And like I think I'm more stronger than him. And a family turns on that because the partner so it has to come from them and say, you know what, I'm taking ownership of my own being. And I'm going to be in control of my ego, my anger, my stand in everything. If you mess up with my partner, you are messing up with me. Yes.
And I love that because I think, it's like women like us, where we can actually give our men the space to talk.
True.
Because he's never been afforded that opportunity. Because you're a man, you are supposed to
act up and mask up.
And that is what has hurt so many men. And now, the problem now is with us now where we meet them. And they're not like, hey man,
hey, can't read in tongue. Yeah, papa, wait.
And it's because of that. You know?
I think many young boys were, there's one that I once had a conversation with. Every time when you try to argue or something, or like a remote debate, he would take it so personal. To a point where you could see the redness in his face.
Sure.
Because Harry lines a mistake, Harry Santana or Tlhalosa felt like impang. As one. So silencing Uguangayone, it started from bunyaneng as toddlers when ngwana ha lla fela hore a tladitse pampers whatever, you know, or a tladitse faili a ba shapiwa. Allow kids to be kids. Yes, we need to apply discipline there and there. Mare, this thing denying kids to be heard, it's what has led to what is happening currently or to the near future, because then you see many boys go strating, but already bought because I think I'm more happier go strating than being kontlong, because kontlong I already am a man. I don't know, konale mikete urwa bua gate hey di mahana batho ba bua wa bona when you to that level, because you can't even provide anything. You ba feel hore ha o khone go bua any sense, and then now the entire people that are inside that vicinity le bone se ba feel hore I know I nka style ka ene lana kare wa bona. So we need to encourage the networking sessions, more therapies for young boys, especially because now there was more damage. So what about the young ones? Yeah.
You mentioned something. Now I want to go back there. You mentioned, Khorel, because you are who you are, certain people want to be associated with you because of that. Has that built a wall up for you to not just allow people in? And how has that impacted your trust?
Well, you know, the trust issues, that is serious. Kore, my life in my privacy has been so much incubated in a manner that it's scary sometimes. Even if I wanted people to come and do certain things in my house, I'd rather get to because ke feel hore, hey, who am I going to call? Do I trust this person? So even with men, you know, who are trying their luck, I used to be so uptight. I just say no. I don't think we're getting somewhere. Can I just protect me and my peace, because no, this is not going to benefit any of us. So and it denies you as a girl to even begin to see life differently and learn and explore and educate yourself and learn about other people's personalities. It's a very painful thing.
Sure.
Very painful thing. To a point where, like, I don't, I've got, you know, I meet a lot of, you know, my fellow female, you know, colleagues in the music industry, mostly Harlekodi events. I don't even have a celebrity friend, if I may put it that way, who would just come in and out of my house as she pleases. Linda, I don't do that because this thing, you gotta go on to freedom. Yeah, don't come in and steal my shine. Sure. By one. That's how some of us were. I mean, but they never welcome in that sense. I never feel industry, and you're like, you know, I'm just trying to be. Yeah, and I'm just a normal person. Accept me for who I am. I'm not here to get that whatever. We are human. But this push button and you're like, oh no. Next thing, you are greeting, they don't greet. Next time, it's them expecting you to greet. So, you're not confused, and then that's when you decide, let me just take a stand. Because, I mean, this person have anything on my table. She doesn't know how I was born. She doesn't know where I'm coming from. She doesn't have any historical background about me. can I just do me? Yeah.
Well, and how has that affected your mental health?
It's a deep sigh. In a big way. It's heavy. It's heavy because people expect you to be normal when some things are not supposed to be normalized. We are being silenced. We are being ridiculed, humiliated.
Yeah.
Sometimes say one a story go news headliner what about it close so say or watch check. No man, I was talking with but then we in a little spice. So how sure who rent like approach ding tang. Come on. So you are trying to go deeper, mare gape wa tshaba because o tshaba le rejection. Le gore ka o sa le motho a tlo re yey tla o trapano o sa tlo mphaphela now nshebile nka ntsha ditaba tsa gago. So it was always a matter of me having to surround myself with my old high school friends who would put me back to my normal self. And that has worked wonders for me because these are the people that know the real Tshedi. And I can like if we are in, like if it's like in Alibone, they could see where I'm talking to her say, I got that mentality yana celebrity or a public figure. No. Mari, sometimes say things happen and you are left alone. You sing for so many big crowds. You are celebrated by many nations. But when you are in a corner, no one is there. These lights are all off. Cameras are off. Now you are in your room trying to recuperate, trying to look at life differently, but you are shutting down. And I wouldn't blame some of the artists by lowering they go through depression is because people are so scared of speaking out or seeking help. Re end up re-privatize privatize really the government entities or whatever. No, le maphelo a rona yana re batla go privatize. Go re la o swa o thole. Sometimes you go to your family's reunions or relatives' funerals, and people are expecting you to be the one billing everything. Now, unale pressure. Because mama o batla go shine again. Na ngwana ke wetla. Ha o bula bo. Ha o bula bo tu batle ha una choko mo. Ha o se stera mfe thaganyana. Ha una pinkisi. So in your head you ask yourself, do these people understand? Or sometimes I don't even eat. I don't even sleep. Sometimes I feel like not that I'm offending God, or God sometimes can look or wang lebala. Or is it me running away from the fact that He's the only Holy Spirit? Sure. So I'm not gonna judge people who have been there. Like I've been there, and sometimes say, even in my current state, sometimes I go through such. And nobody's there, but your back is sore. You why? I would think people's pleaser because now you want to have people around you. Now you must be used at your own expense for the beneficiary are certain people. Mare, suffer, you'll suffer alone.
What are some of the conversations that you're having with when you're by yourself and you're like, this is just too heavy for me?
Why me? What have I done? Maybe I could have done better. Maybe I had that crowd around me. Maybe I made wrong decisions. Like it's questions, and why, when I've done so much, and this is what I get, and how long is this going to happen? Is it because I'm too alert and overprotective of myself, and I speak my mind, or people look at me as this independent woman that is very vocal? And if I keep quiet, who's going to talk and protect me? I've always wanted to have, even with partners, someone that I can know, if we go to war, we go to war together. So now you are meeting people who are just there to call you. You know, Tshedi, I think now you are my therapy. I'm your therapy. So I cannot be feeding from an empty cup.
An empty cup?
So now where do I suck from?
Yeah.
You know, and it can be so heavy because now there's kids, there's your family, there's your brother, sister, the fans who are constantly attacking you, not all of them, those that are faceless on social networks, people that you've never met, and they start, going deeper. And you ask yourself, maybe I shouldn't have taken this path. I think people, Baba Robert saying, by it, not that one suicidal, but those thoughts sometimes they normally they would just cross your mind, and it's up to you to decide, or I know. Nonsense. People pay them, and I get paid a mood. But how long? Who is there? How do was I wrong to tell the world about how I'm feeling, for me to receive this backlash? So, but I've always noticed, in the midst of my problems, where I'm always almost at the edge of giving up, and God appears. When you feel like, did I come out of this door?
Yeah.
This man had my back from my inception. So clearly there is something wrong that I've been doing. And I remember there's one pastor that I once met while I was at one of the police stations. I had an issue with one neighbor, and I was not aware he was a pastor. He was just listening to me, trying to tell my story, to this cop, and trying to open up a case and whatever. And he was just sitting there listening. when I sat down and I started crying, it came to me, you are too nice. You stop it now. I cannot do sneak mo ditabeng tsa batho, but ntse ke dutse mo just like any other people ba batlile mo charge face, but stop what you are doing. But it's not in me. When somebody says I need water, I will try. If I can't, I can't, but I will try. I'll stop being nice. You are too nice. Have boundaries, mama. And I think that's what we are lacking sometimes, because ba bangwe re deal ka di issues tsa abandonment, re tshaba ba bangwe ke rejection, we just want to belong, to be seen. Yes, to be noticed, or no, I did this, that, and then thola di epilates, people clap hands for you. But I potela ka ke bo not wait samvel. But I always tell myself, if I do good, I do good. Only God will recognize that. Yeah. If somebody else is not going to applaud the goodness that I've done.
Wow. Do you feel like, because for me, I would see it as, or rather, what are the types of conversations that you're having with your mom? Do you feel like your mom is able to get to a place where she can just be a mom to Mathidiso and not to the Malaika star? Do you feel like she can ever get to a place where she will be able to just listen to you? Because at this present moment, to me, it sounds like you have no support structure at all. And now that is heavy on it. Like, no matter how strong you think you are, you can never ever go through life alone. Do you think that you're able to have certain conversations with your mom?
I do. I think that is why sometimes I blame myself for building this persona of I'm a jack of all trades. I talk with my mother almost every day. Sometimes I snap on her, and I love my mother, and she sometimes yes, una le cheeky ya gage le nna ke be ke tla le cheeky ya ka di kopane bo go nna bom. But she's one of the people back in when I call her and tell her about some of the challenges that I opted to choose. Because now let's feel I rather ask her easy, because we don't phone her the whole night. She's a deep thinker like me. What might be this? Maybe don't do this. Maybe. So yes, there were moments where she used to treat me like Malaika, but mama ke mama. La go ka etsagalang. I think problem ya rona no yana feel like a distance, because she's in Lichtenburg and I'm based in Gauteng. So the only way for us to communicate is through a call, or when she's here, or when I'm home. So it's anyway I choose I can because she's already aging and she might not be able to relate to Wabona, and I give a little more head high blood. Because once certain things so crowd babala di logo di pampiri motho ba ya kwena ba jiga story be nna gore ya mo hita. Now I'm the one who has to carry her. So I think I'm protective in that manner, not that we are not talking. So Mama is one person that when you talk to her, she takes few hours to come back to you. Just be still. Tool. Support structure, yes. Somehow, I need a generally fela. Because I think I would look at it. We talk at the go for trace outside and and that's how I was born. Not that I'm Malaika, but it's already like the solutions and quickly. And my younger brothers say they are too sometimes relaxed about life. La mora. First of all, wait one. So in that sometimes they get deeper into their relationships and you just want to find out because tshwantse go tleng wetseng mo yanong e take over le nna ke batla go how o bona vamos ba mpone
Plus, I mean, darling. Darling. Thank you. Sure. What and where are you now as Tshedi Mholo? Where are you now in terms of your mental, in terms of anxiety, in terms of worry?
I suffer a lot from anxiety, and mostly it happens, day before the show, on the day of the show, or when I know I've got something major that I'm doing. Sorry. And it frustrates those that don't understand me, because I understand why I know muto flip like a coin. The other thing again, anxiety, worry, and I worry a lot, but I should be thankful to my kids because they keep me so entertained. Kid youngster, Tshedi youngster.
Yeah.
Because control Raja everett a marriage, yes, hi takana.
Yeah.
It's like a fat because you know what, ba hyper.
Yeah.
They are very creative, jumpy, opinionated, and more we good
You think just
yeah. So and support their few friends that I have. Like if you know, oh, I keep going. Okay, so answer a very inale wait. Wabon. Oh, and it's alright. Only certain things and get you more hard saying.
yes.
Only friends like that in your circle where you know right. Oh, I'm fast sense my room. I got a empty nyana. It will not. Why, Shem, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, only babaring why is our Shem sorry. Wait, ube sharp. And at that time, ubatla opinion, you are crying for help.
Sure.
And at least they must also tell you if you were wrong or maybe I added something or in a so what about this, what. So the last resort take mama. You know, and so and my current partner, whom you know, very love will find you at your lowest valley. When you are the most broken person, when you're like, hey, okay, Zamarta born. Yes, Wabon. Shem, such a darling. So far. Such a darling. very supportive. He wants to see me progress and see me happy. And even when I was telling him about certain stories that were reported about me, I'm sure you've read about it, where they said I married somewhere had the Lichtenburg. I guess say yeah, but we clever nyadi sa ka tseng wa ntsi. O malome ba re tla gae. Wanyan. Hanky. So to home affairs 75 rand test the go edile. Ya re di pampir di tsamayang. A gona sip. Next. I couldn't even protect myself because it was so hard. Because whether for no way off, waraba, wahanela, you try to defend yourself, stories are run. Because Batuamba's already grudge. So I decided, okay, Lanya, this okay, kinyet. We get for me, it was questioning their credibility as investigative journalists. Why does I go home face? Because is it customarily or civil? They never did that. Of course. So we get so it's only now that, I'm giving such platforms with you and certain other people where I'm able to, I'm sorry, I'm wiping my nose, where I'm beginning to tell people, Lord, it never happened. Hariti malobola, hariti ring, hariti. Saluku tilwela, utlahu. Kirunaba, bo papa, bo, batiba kwa mupapa, mama. Yano legation. Oh, yes. I was telling Papa Liwano, it's again, but I got Katiba. It's out you like him, Holokwan, but Holuba to Miss Vanuledi. No, they messed up the whole thing. I feel some how think out that way. Will. A lot of people have been trying to look for me, but no root had to Fudu Hilos. I do like a no go vendor guy. Vendor? Me. I can't tell one like a young one fella, papa, calling Popo, letting Wigian. Sure. The mixer, the lumo, you are a killer who got the hat in like in a long and good. Hey, I can't go fail. The very good thing. And I should blame baby daddy because, well, he's not a very talkative person, but at least he was supposed to have said to his own spokesperson at the time, clear up at the Smith. Okay. Thank you. Sure, Nahana. So it's those kind of things that you keep on fighting and fighting. So how kopala le motiva amara na cheka Google was how but my husband did it with how many millions ago. Oh just I say guys are show. Unchepuleme SIU in Latin one.
I'd rather deal with that.
I tell you, hey, it's me. So Shem, I've got a very supportive partner, and that one I know we can go to war. What a take how hard serete. Yeah. And I think really at the right time when I was just at my worst point in my life, and he just said, okay, where to end. Buchiki wole bo wa ha bua ke a retsa before you go moneke. Like what's our re o edit. Anka nna ka bua. Sa missing. I cannot tell what I'm saying for no. was not a Santan talk. No, so ho rose, ma. Ho, yeah.
When I just say,
Ho gloomy.
have you allowed him in your personal space? Like, have you broken down that wall when it comes to him?
Yeah. I think that's what is making things more easy for us, because he knows what he's dealing with. And hard kinale celebrity. Hare unale na. So you call the shots, Only level of respect, level of trust, tolerance, resilience. So it's so easy because now we are co-parenting both sides. So it's also so there's a whole lot, and he's very protective, and he always tells me, if there's one thing I want to see with what you have been through, is to see you happy.
Sure.
And it's, when those things, they don't just come out without the action. And when somebody says, I'm knocking off from work, I just want to take you out for champagne breakfast. Yo, I'm born. And I would just dress up, and I would just look at him and cry and say, these are where the bold and we do. Well, sometimes he come along and then he buys, a bundle of flowers, and you're like, are you buying them for me? Because some of the things, remember, people used to think, Corey, because we have money, we can afford as women. And you're like, are you buying me flowers? He says, yes, they are for you. And I'm like, wow, thank you. It's those small little things. We talk every day. We don't sleep without talking. We don't argue. We debate. We debate. And we speak sense to each other. We open up each other's brains, and maybe tsanya libitsanga skwa kana batho wa go challenge, like motho go fan challenge wa utlwa a wile le phutsi pumpkin mo wa bona wa go challenge, like le khona go bua about a whole lot of things, from politics, current news, life in general, kids, everything. Ba bangwe motho ga o sa bue ka gigi wa mo bora. Go integele a re gane okay ra tlhaloganya batho ra tlhoka, but o ka se dilo ntse o nkopa tšhelete ya motlakase. So wa re nna ke itseke ntekele thunyana a ke re ke two for nna na papa ke re ke le yo era di bona ka bona. I'm just trying to be honest. Era di bona yeah, but re jela tšhelete o ntsha ka mole ka go le thata batho ya ne re bekezele ntse re hey baby maybe ke nna re ke itshoke gate motho a mo ipaakanyetsa mare mo le wa bona hae a gona a ke bone future. And I know o tshwantse o calculate o check gape le bana gore mare bana ba gago ha ba shebile di money ba bona. And kids are very honest. Once you are out, I mama, Like ke ipotsa gore ntle ke o tswa Linda. And you're like, why ntse le sa bue bathong? What's thinking? I know, Mama, you stoop low. I know. O ra motho mare e rra ke na le bana tlhe ke dula le ba. O palela ke gore ka thompo. Thompo. O tla mo tlo go ja plate ya mogaka. O tla le scarftin. And go normal. Ahora ke di vele gore ke next. It's because this is how I was raised. Gore motho a fitlhe le moyeng o mo offer dijo. Mara no ya no kara no. Wena mo blue train.
But also, it also just says to me that the only thing you want is love. This is all that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It's love. Haki, batle tšhelete ya gago. I don't want a lot of these things. All I want.
Rama. Mpe lerato, mpe respecting. Make me to trust you. Make me to believe in you. And to also believe in us. We are building an arc here. So that if honale we 1 hour, re kgone go balance. But a tswang wa bona gore o itse mo rwalela ha o ka tla a ka go tlogela o rwa wena nje ya wa lembeng. But ke life, we had to go through those channels of life and grow from them and build yourself from them and learn from them. And it's a topic for another day. Yeah.
And then, Rubana ring.
You take it.
You stop.
You stop nonsense. It's a symbol of love. Yeah. It's just a symbol of love. Yeah. Nothing to make my parents to worry. Not yet. It's just to say, I appreciate you. Yeah. You've been so good to me. Yeah. You are special.
The mercy that you keep on showing to other people, do you show the same mercy to yourself?
Sometimes I think I'm more giving, more showing more empathy, sympathy. Even, got the days, Malaika. Sometimes we would just get to gigs and I would be the first person to say, everybody go and eat. And it's fine. It has always been like that. I remember when we went to Nigeria and we didn't have money. Yadi naira. The only money we had was rents and the rents at that side. I opted to give this old man my earrings so that at least I can beg the wife to buy us food. She kept looking at my earrings and I'm like, I don't mind giving you this for as long as we can buy all of us here food. So it comes with a whole lot of sacrifice. And I think that's what makes a lot of people think, Hore, they can just ride on you and push you to non-limits. And I skurufusetswa a ke thibe ke go tlela ka tsone yana emaphelo. So yeah, sometimes I can be just giving without thinking about myself. Yeah. Mari, I know who I am. I know ke etsa from the heart. I ke etse se gore ke batla bomang ba re eng kae.
You've got 2 hands and you've got 10 fingers.
Good.
Are you reaching your full potential?
Am I what?
Are you reaching your full purpose?
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. A lot of things happened, you know, especially with regards to our industry, music industry. And I've been discouraged. I've been demotivated. Like, there was a time where I was like, maybe I need to quit. Or let me just pause, take a break a little bit. But only this voice that keeps on saying, not yet. So the dreams that I had then, I know that they are legacy be the same as in the now, because now the industry is flooded. How to my piano? Like, sometimes you are even battling to find hore you are left or guy right or south north. But I'm a very strong-willed person, and I speak to myself. Whatever that you dreamed of or you aspired to achieve, go for it. Kifela honali, this thing that we call fear. And whitey fear can just mess up everything. Ohana go do audition say, "Ile khalo rehearse." Out the normally water, mind the world, yo, and you're like, "Oh, fetsa go tsa galang wa bona." O bona batho ba collapse. So it's those kind of things, and I think the more ke create support, being cheered up, and being alert and aware, only people who still look at me and they say, I want to be like her. So it keeps me so much encouraged. Yeah, but it's a process. It's a process. I still want to do what I've always wanted to do. Be on stage, do my best, write songs and sing, and leave a legacy. I want to be remembered as one of the female artists that once made it, and that was once made history based on certain issues that are affecting us. Mariano. Renale bothata ba di ba batho ba re khawata. Nale batho ba re khawatang within the industry, and we know them. It's just that we are not ready to face them. We don't even know how to tackle them. Or ba re pota ka kumora. Wa bona. Lataol. Not this one. Because patwana fear ya gore, I guess what fear ya gore you'll be, they fear gore they see the greatness in you. Yeah. So babangwe, they will just tarnish you so that nobody believes in whatever that you do. I mean, I'm talking about the album that I did with Sony Music as a solo artist. It was killed while I was in studio. And I know the culprits. And I'm still smiling with them. You know, I told myself I'm not going to let myself be bitter or whatever. I was still exploring. I was still trying to understand how to, where to, with who. I was alone in studio making decisions. There was no A&R. How robots like a budget, people are digging and diving. I have a proper marketing plan. And I was like, oh, okay. So we told like guitar was. They thought was in voice son. Among it was like that. So uvelezano onna tsotsinyana mare yani lady wa yeah. Ya di hingli le makeup le lipstick wa itse you are keeping an eye nje o shebile. So I think that's what our young people who are coming after us, they need to really protect themselves and protect their peace and their space. Because the energies that are on it, they are failure sometimes. You don't know the people that are around us. But like I feel. All these spy, all these niches, all the people that, all the moles. Come on. So one needs to really be in touch with your own spirituality to be able to see through such. Oh, okay. Mama Wita must be still. I'm not a fighting type, Mary. If I'm attacked, not physically, vocally and mentally, I know I can finish you. I made you. And I'm like, oh. But to you also I did duplicate once. You made me. But clearly you are disrespecting the man above. Go and duplicate. That will perform and walk and talk and do everything like me. They will never be me. They usually sometimes say some of us are inside into make sure to pay the stamp or the shoes mustn't fit that person. They must struggle first. But they will never be another Tsundu. There will never be another Tshedi. It's a cheat thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greatness.
Yes. Regal. Power. Worthy. Believing.
Do you see in yourself first?
I mean, la re mo relationship data. Make sure it's a more fit than what thing go muta er. Ta kradi email go spam account muta hello. Kile papa. Hey. Blog.
Yeah. Stay away from me.
Yeah, what else? Hey. I missed the times, I messed up. Oh. Only now. Sure. Eh? Clean the nest. Yeah. It's like a car that cleans squandiri.
Oh. What exclusives do you have for us for your upcoming books?
Oh. Now you are searching me. I think since a lot of people know me from the group Malaika, a lot happened behind the scenes while Malaika was still at its peak. And we are still busy with the book. I don't know Ritlo Felaning because it's a whole lot of, remembering, escaping all these old things that we used to experience, trauma. drama, how I met my baby daddies, because I've got 2 girls, and what happens in my house, and probably even the music that I listen to, which might even be a bit of a strange to a lot of people. My experience in G as a normal girl from the townships, things that people never heard me talk about when I was growing up, especially go mama go to plastic. I touched base somewhere a little bit, but people don't know that girl, that hustler. Yeah.
My last question to you today is, do you feel like you're heard?
I think there is noise, but it's not reaching the masses as yet. There's a lot that one wishes to just sit and tell the world. Maybe it's not yet the time. But there's a lot, and it would take people from the media, people like you, who are able to tap into that space so that we are able to start realizing the power within us. So I've always denied myself to do most of the interviews because I feel I've got nothing to say. And something said, no, I'm going to do this one. And I strongly believe we met purposely for a reason. Here we are. Yeah. And we're talking a lot. But I must appreciate this platform because it made me realize how Tshedi has impacted certain people and how Tshedi has managed to compose herself, tackling certain issues. And I would definitely love people to hear me, to hear more of me through songs of liberation.
Sure.
Songs of freedom, songs where people are being healed, where I'm not going to allow any negative energies to tamper with any of my space, because honestly, as much as God is in control, I'm also in control of my space. Yeah.
We have now come to the last segment where I'm going to ask you your perspective on various things. Ne? And by the sound of what you said, we need to have a part 2. Ne?
Okay, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ne?
Yes.
What is your perspective on spirituality?
You know, spirituality or spirited or like spiritual people, they feel a lot of things. They see things before they happen. They envision. And honestly, I don't think it's a bad thing. It's a gift for you to be able to stay on your toes, and armor yourself with anything. But we meditate, we pray, we dream, you know. Some of us, we believe in ancestors, which are part of our spiritual world, you know, without even to forget that God is the man, is the main man. But spirituality it's a, I don't know how to call it. I think it's a wave. It's some sort of a wave that connects your inner being with how you want to be perceived, or how you sometimes you see things happening, and sometimes I don't know if I'm answering you, but sometimes you wanna light from far without anybody realizing what you are seeing through your spirituality. So it's, you know, my daughter used to explain it, and we go one, but I think the most important thing is to reconnect with those that came before us. They just sit in an empty room and they just want quietness. In your moment where you are just, you've traveled, your mind has traveled to another world, and through that, as you're getting it's deep. But I'm a very spiritual person, and I've seen that through the manner in which I would sing some of the Pinazirinza gospel, and I'm just in a happy space. Could take it or leave it. Like I'm just in my own world, living. Sometimes I'm in the spirit, just leave me. These are my people.
Yeah.
And when I look at the videos, maybe it's like a phone, the camera cruel. And you like, really? Did I really do that? Or did I really? For me, I think it's a form of healing, man. Healing yourself. I love being in that spiritual world. Yeah. Where you are just in the company of yourself and these beautiful outside energies that are just going to impact you in a very positive way. And you see life blossoming. Hona next we naganang e o tla feel gore tla go attack we tla go e tla go direla. You know? I hope I answered you. I was everywhere, but you know.
No, you are not.
Okay.
You are here.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your perspective on freedom?
Not all of us are given a voice. We've got to remember in life we must accept that there are people who can't speak, who are not even born to speak. But freedom gives you so many opportunities to conquer the world, to tackle any enemy that might come your way, to be able to exercise your rights as a citizen, to be able to write, flight this in a very respectable manner, obviously. To be able to walk without fear, to conquer and to win every battle like David. Nobody ever thought Goliath, as gigantic as he was, beginning ya David ne ka tsat motlholo a re fela ka letlapa le wa o tlhaka bona bo orange le di stars. So that's how we need to look at life, you know, trying to free ourselves from those chains, from those battles. Yeah.
Are you living that freedom?
Too much. If I have to fight, and I fight my battles wisely. Because when the battles sitting where don't dorm, hi ekari. Ibatle anu kitene got wrong. Over no comment. Why would if you are a very spiritual person, I know. I mo kya thula yanu kare kya leke obo thul, and God will do the rest.
Yes. What is your perspective on power?
To be able to lift up every voice and sing. There's a song like that. That's power. All these voices that are crying silently, and you coming and saving everybody.
Sure.
That's power.
Yeah.
That's magic. You don't need to go to the gym to be powerful.
Yeah.
You can be powerful, but really beginning, I get about dynamites come in small packages. Yes. So sometimes listening, even not sometimes, listening, it's power. And knowing when to speak, it's power. Because when you start standing there, when everybody has been making noise without any solution, and people listen, and they go home overjoyed, in happy mood, that's power. and to be able to handle every battle gracefully. That's power. You don't have to be spitting venom and vulgar and whatever. I know sometimes onalo in a hafelo wogela motors. Yera. Oye osi. Osi na go let's go.
Yeah.
Kwa. How about like big leveling eh? I know.
Yeah.
Are. Tla bontsha. So I think we must never allow ourselves to be underestimated because we are powerful in our own different ways. I don't know what this interview is going to do to me or to you or to everybody that is with us. But something is going to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Power. We must take it and own it and run with it.
Yeah. What is your perspective on being vulnerable?
Hey. What's vulnerability? Man. Sometimes, I think on many occasions with my other social networks, I allow myself to be vulnerable. I remember not long ago, I did a live thingy with one of the social networks, and I was just sitting there. Tears were just dripping because I came from a meeting where I felt I opened up so much to these camels and what is happening about my, my toxic neighborhood. And at first they didn't believe. So when I started telling them about my struggles and whatever, and the challenges and what I've seen, what I've witnessed, and I left that office cheerful, even though at some point I think I shed a tear. And then when I got home, that's when it just knocked. I was vulnerable. I was saying a whole lot of things, and nowadays you don't know who to trust, but with these cops. And I just went through my social network and people were asking, tears were just dripping. I couldn't even talk. And I felt like this is what I needed for me to be able to release. And people were asking, are you okay? What's wrong? Because I wanted to show people, guys, normally. And I keep on checking if my kids are coming so that they don't get to see me tearing up. And I typed and I said, no, we'll chat later. Even later when I was talking to them and telling them, this is what happened. Those that joined me earlier on, this is what happened. We had a meeting in a boardroom and I explained 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And when this guy said, Tshedi, we are sorry, 6 times from the heart, I think that's what almost tripled me. Now it was ringing in my head already. So these people at first, they didn't believe what I was telling them. Now I'm trying to tell the Fenetsagari, yeah, it's what it is. And they said, no, don't worry, God is with you. You are on our side. We'll pray for you, whatever. But there are people by luring, sometimes they can be very judgmental. When you are trying to just show them, okay, just hear me out. Kana uba vulnerable sometimes, Igari, you are just taking everything, including your clothes. Or here I am. I just want to tell you what I'm going through, you know. And but you can't be telling people that, especially when you're like, why not? Why not? I'm not saying anything bad here. I just want to let people know. Even some of us, vulnerable, and we're really in a space where we are not sure if we need to talk or not. But I think we also need to choose the people that we talk our vulnerability with. Because babangwe, they rejoice.
But they rejoice from
hurt, yes. They are battling something. Yes.
projecting.
Yes. Yes. And I think, honestly, that's what is happening with the same individuals that I went to report. Because for me, I feel it's a bit of a narcissistic behavior, psychopaths. It's the same. Some people buy lure sometimes by go Twitter. Some posts it's okay or something innocently, guys say attack, and you're like, where is Ubuntu? Why can't people just like, this person was just, you know, apologize, and you're like, don't apologize. Don't. Let them know. I want. So, but yeah, I support it. I think it's our people are feeling it's bitter and angry, and they are enclosing all these things that are eating them. Their feelings are delaying certain people that we regard as criminals.
And that's my last perspective. What is your perspective on the music industry and finances after a huge success? And now that success is gone, what happens next?
Well, some of our musicians, especially when they are already there. Sorry, they feel untouchable. They have made it. To go and touch base fela go gata mabala ka Setswana. Ba bangwe pressure ya hore e batla go boniwa gore ke mang, wa bona ke save money. Are save tšhelete. I know some of our fellow musicians where they died without a will. I know some of us, I'm not going to make myself better. Then I had my own challenges where, you know, my hands were just full, where I had to take care of a whole lot of things at the time. But I opted to, you know, to do things there and there, but I wish I could have done things better at the time, but there was too much fear at the time, but it's fine. So musicians, Sarona, not all of them. There are those that are born business-minded. Baba tlafela go dula mo industry for a very particular period of time. Baba, they still have the edge to show the world what they are capable of. Man, and I strongly believe meanwhile re robala di hotel, re travel, re sa di patale. Why can't we study online and equip ourselves so that we are able to relate with the outside world? So similar burgers go mistress. I get about the mistress. o sa mmonana o re botsa ka contract le mmoneng o questionnaire yana di-clause yana tse kana ke mistress ke intimidation. So I would really love to see our musicians being in the industry for a particular period of time, and then Mutabaro is saying, we don't want to see what happened to Mama Miriam. Yes, she did what she did, and she did what she loved passionately. And that was the only way for her to be heard, because remember, Kanakoya apartheid, they were denied to even be with their families in their home country. They had to travel the world. They were celebrated more outside. So with us, those that are still up and coming and hotata because of the economic state of our country, politics, there's war, everything is going up, inflation. So the challenge is the thing, Mare. Let's save the little that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tshedi, please take that mirror. Tshedi, when I stopped looking at myself and I started seeing me, that's when I started seeing my power, my beauty, and my glory. What do you see when you look at yourself?
I see a resilient woman. With the eyes that are talking, that are telling a story. Someone that believes in herself. Someone that doesn't get to lose a fight easily. Someone that is beautiful and someone that believes in herself. A strong woman. My past created this. My pains are my gains. A strong believer. A courageous woman, a mother, a singer, a lover, a friend, a freedom fighter, and a God-fearing woman.
Yes. Wow. Thank you. All right, you can put it down.
Oh. Literally.
Oh, thank you so much, Tshedi. See, the candle tried to burn me, it tried to ruin me, but that very same candle lives within me, and that candle is shining bright. And I'd like to say to your candle that I'm seeing right now, that is burning and shining bright, to keep shining.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This is a song that when, as Malaika, we were like, can we hear you sing? I started with that song. And I just felt it. My name is Florence. I'm a Nightingale. So what you are saying goes with you love it. You love it. Oof. And I'm glad you are here. I'm glad you are here. You are a survivor. You've made it.
Yeah.
That candle was a signal that something powerful is coming. Yeah. And you fought until the end.
And from me, Mrs. Sekhu-Pedi, keep shining.